It's Sarah Hyman from the Center for Student Involvement. Just checking in with you today for our Student Leadership Summit. We're over here with Dr. Mike Finnegan, Assistant Professor in the Staley School of Leadership Studies, and he's going to talk with us today about what it means to be a leader and some leadership lessons.
Hey, K-State community. I gotta tell you, it's a privilege to be able to connect with you virtually on Instagram Live. Sarah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I wanted to just kind of highlight a little bit about what leadership means to me. And you'll lots of times hear me say it's something that's exercised, right? I always talk about exercising leadership because then the focus is on the action of exercising leadership as opposed to the leader. So how is it that, number one, within your campus organizations, you can start thinking about leadership not as a person or as an individual or as a noun, but more as a verb, something that anybody can exercise at any point in time. And again, it's not easy, right? I would contend leadership is extremely risky. When you care so much to get involved and to take initiative, it's because there's something core to your values that you want to stand up and advocate on behalf of. That's exercising leadership. So I tell my students all the time, understand your strengths, but know your values, because your values are going to drive your decisions moving forward. I would also contend that leadership is an influence relationship. How is it that you can positively influence and impact the lives of others day in and day out? Leadership is also socially responsible. We've got to be connected to events in our local community, in our state, in our nation, and to even start to look a little bit more as a global community to really explore how can we be socially responsible, mobilize others into action to improve the communities where we live and work. And so I wanted to also highlight two leadership lessons that I think have been powerful in my growth and development, and hopefully you can maybe play off these lessons and implement them immediately. First and foremost, gang, my mom told me years ago, she's like, Michael, you could be either one of two people in the world. A, you could be the person who brightens up the room when you walk in, or you could be the person who brightens up the room when you walk out. So I've always tried to make a commitment that when I leave the room, I brighten up the room.
Mike definitely brightens up the room when he walks in. Let's follow him.
I sure hope I can live up to that, Sarah, as the always brightening the room. But gang, I think that just goes to this idea of being positive and really thinking every time you're in a space with others, how can you really actively listen? How can you engage? How can you show compassion for what other people are doing? It's critically important to keep your mind where your feet are. If it's important enough for me to be there, I want to be fully present and engaged in the work that I do. The last leadership lesson I'd like to share with you all today is kind of from my colleagues over in psychology, the high and the low locus of control. People will basically say those with high locus of control, they control their own reality, right? Whereas if you have a low locus of control, it's more or less hey Camden, what's happening?
Oh, we're just in class. I heard yelling. I was making sure everything was okay.
Gang, this is Camden Mayfield. He's a leadership studies minor. He's a student. He's going to be a future 212 class leader. Say hello to Camden.
Yes, sir. Hey, everybody. Getting back to class.
All right. Thanks, Camden. So again, hey, this is Instagram Live. Apparently I was causing a little bit of commotion in the leadership studies hallway. But here, check this out. So lots of times, like on a day like today, it's wet, it's rainy, it's dreary outside, and you might say, my gosh, life is miserable, it's wet, it's rainy. But I would contend, K-State, I just want you to be more like umbrella people, because umbrella people, they don't worry about the weather. They just find their umbrella, and then they go about their day, rocking and rolling like there's not a care in the world. So gang, how is it that you can find your own agency and efficacy to basically be a top performer in what it is that you do, and don't let things outside of your control impact your emotional well-being? I guarantee it will be a life changer for you and others. Gang, Instagram Live, kicking it, leadership studies style. Mike Finnegan, over and out. Take care.